This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
This early in the race. Interesting difference in the track surface here, too. We've got concrete in the turns and asphalt in the straightaways. Of course, traction going straight ahead is not critical. If it was mixed in the turns, we would say it might be a little bit difficult. Leah just up. We got another incident here. These guys can't seem to keep from going around. I'm going to say that's the 21 of Richard Savory out of Canton, Mass. Not sure if Richard got a little bit of help there, but luckily for all them guys, they were able to get through there with no major contact. Well, a little bit of help with open wheel cars usually turns into a lot of help, unless you're lucky enough to nerf him into fenders. Let's see what happened right here. Yep. Nope, just around by himself, looked like. Yep, it looks like, I don't know, they possibly could have hit a little fluid there. You know, both them cars got turned around. Did not look like they had any help from anybody else, so I'm not sure what happened. He's holding guys up a little bit. Flemke was good early on, then his car started going on. Oh, and we've got a car hard into the safety wall. The number 8 car we saw a while ago there, Glenn Tyler, in a Cypher Construction Chevrolet, has tagged the wall, and I mean tagged it hard. Boy, he hit a ton. He actually pushed that safer barrier wall, crushed the barrier wall, it appears, but thank goodness it was there, but he hit head on, it looked like. The 18 car of Zach Brewer out of Winston-Salem also involved, and we'll take another look at how this went on. We're at the tail end of it, and yeah, that car hit head on, went up on the wall, and it actually dragged part of that safer barrier wall with it. And certainly some damage was incurred to the car, but it would have been a lot greater if it hadn't been for that safer barrier. So tight. They all handle about the same. They're all equal down the straightaway. Oh, another problem. The 02 car of Buddy Emery out of Petersburg, Virginia, has gone around on the racetrack, not damaged nearly as much. In fact, it doesn't appear as though there's any damage at all. His biggest problem is trying to get that thing turned around in the right direction and fall back in line again. Let's see if we can pick up what happened here. Oh, there he is. Just not sure if he got a little help there on corner entry. Just got turned around, maybe up a little too high. Getty on the outside. He's got a good car, and again, he's able to pick that throttle up and keep that momentum. He needs to get on the outside of Leah to get that run down the straightaway. Behind them, though, all sorts of mayhem. Now it looks like a parking lot here at Martinsville. Up front, we see the 14 car involved in this one, Reggie Ruggiero, the 10, and that, of course, is Ed Flemke. We've seen him, so it looks like about row 3 on back has got a half a dozen cars parked up against the wall. And, well, yeah, there's some gesturing going on. Reggie Ruggiero got his hands out, giving a little sign language there. Not sure what happened, but, you know, when 1 or 2 of them get sideways, they just pile in. There's just nowhere to go, and that's what happened there. Yeah, Tim Brown in the 83 car, he's taken off again. Let's see if we can pick up what happened. There's the 14 sideways. That's Ruggiero. Yep, Ruggiero turned around. Not sure if he got a little help there, but unfortunate. Well, and he's the one shaking his hand out the window. Looks like he might be to blame. Side cars are very popular. And right now, Ted Christopher and Donnie Leah running in first and second position. And they come around slowly at the finish line. We've got another caution flag out here at Martinsville Speedway. And that's going to give a chance for these guys to go in and take their tires. The reason, veteran driver Mike Stefanik in the number 16. Eric Beers also involved. We're going to guess maybe those two guys got together a little bit. Beers is dragging hard parts, showering place with sparks. Yeah, that don't look good. Looks like he's got a wheel down, right rear down, and like some pretty serious damage on the right side of that race car, possibly. But if it's just a wheel down, they'll get a right rear tire back on it, and then he can get back underway. It may not make any more damage that's already occurred. Pretty easy to cut a tire when they're sticking out of the bodywork like that. Doesn't take a whole lot to do that to one of these tires. And so as they come rolling down the straightaway, there's Jay Foley out of Stewart, Virginia. And it looked like it was going to be all number 28, James Savali there. He was clearly the faster car for the first couple of laps after the restart, but now they both settled into a nice rhythm behind the leader, Ted Christopher. This is for second place, and we've got a caution flag out again on the racetrack. Back behind these drivers, things are a little bit more of a scramble, and sure enough, somebody else has found a way to bring out the yellow flag here at Martinsville. So we'll take another short break. We'll come back and tell you all about it. Probably in the catbird seat. If he gets tires later on, was able to work his way back through traffic, his tires will be a lot fresher than Donnie Leah's. Oh, and we saw that one starting to happen. Spinning on the racetrack. Ryan Priest, the number 40 car. Sparks flying in front of him. He's collected a couple more. Well, his incident has collected a few more cars. We see the 77 of Kobe backwards on the track. The 00 Marcus is backing his way up there. Everybody else is trying to find an empty spot to get through, and that was pretty much wholesale disaster
Here's how it started. Watch for sparks first. Somebody cut a tire, or yep, there it is. Contact and a cut down tire.
Wow, looks like he gets up on the back of car in front of him. Looks like
41 was Myers, the 40 Ryan Priest. Myers kept going, Priest did not.
Looks like he touched tires. You know, we talked about it earlier. If these tires touch, be a little bit concerned at this point, unless Donnie Lee is maybe using a little bit of strategy for saying, hey, we still got, you know, we're within 25, 50 laps to go.
Go! Well,
no strategy there.
No, that was no strategy. That was self-preservation. Donnie Leah stands on the brakes. Christopher had a notion to run back inside him there, but it wouldn't have done any good. So we got cars all over the racetrack, and another caution, as you might expect, flying here. Let's take a look at what happened. And apparently what happened was just, well, that car, I thought that was going to be our highlight, but here it comes instead. Behind, we got a car, definitely a collaborative effort there, it appeared, between the 09, Bob Grigas, and I think that's the 57 car of Foley up there.
Look at Leah and Christopher just slipped through there. Boy, that could have been disastrous.
Racetrack, it has been difficult to pass. Early on, we saw a second groove start to open up. There's clearly one real fast way around this racetrack, and Donnie Lee is using every bit of it.
Doing the right thing, put the car right to the bottom of the racetrack. Leah's car looks a little bit better than Christopher's. I was watching Christopher's a few laps ago, and it looks like if Ted misses his line just a little bit, his car really gets out of shape.
Another dice going on behind them, and this one's getting a little bit impatient. L.W. Miller in the 36 car has got the 28 of Savali all over the back of him right now. Savali looking for a way around, perhaps thinks he's a little bit faster, but of course, L.W. Miller out of Mooresville, North Carolina, he thinks otherwise.
LW's done a fine job here today. He's kept his nose clean. He just kind of worked his way up towards the front. He's had a good run here tonight. If he can have a good top 5 out of this deal, he'll be real happy.
Well, L.W. Miller representing the best of the Southern drivers right now, running in third spot, trying to hold off the 28. So L.W. Miller trying to hold up the honor of the South here. He's the guy running point. He started pretty far back in the field. In fact,
I think he was 40th. He started 40th here today, so he would have to be the big mover of the race here tonight.
Oh, yeah, he's got a very, very good car. There are only 3 behind him when we started this thing. Now there's only 2 in front of him. That is a huge turnaround as Donnie Leah continues to set pace here, and Ted Christopher, well, he found it easy to move through the traffic and catch the leader, but that's as far as he's gotten so far.
He gets right up there in striking distance right here, especially on corner entry. When we start working through traffic now, this could be crucial. We talked about it. Donnie Leah can get pushed up on that high side. Christopher can take big advantage of that.
Wow, Matt Hirschman there in the 59. He sure got out of the way, didn't he? Went down to the bottom of the racetrack and almost stopped the car. The 02 of Buddy Emery out of Petersburg, Virginia. He just sort of eased over to the side and let these 2 guys go by. Donnie Leah, there's Christopher. The nose of his car is never very far away from the back bumper of that yellow number 4. But he just can't seem to get up there and show him a wheel, show him a nose, or anything else.
Now, it looks like Ted Christopher's going to have to use lap traffic to his advantage this late in the race to get around Donnie Leah, because it just seems like when he gets up on his bumper, he just cannot get around him, and then Donnie Leah pulls back off of him. So it's going to be real interesting. Again, lap traffic can play a big part of the end part of this race.
Well, remembering what happened just before the halfway mark, Christopher was able to execute a brilliant move to become the leader at the halfway point when they stopped the cars and let him come in to make adjustments and take on fuel. So he may be trying to line something like that up again, but you know what? He's running out of time to do it.
Yeah, he is. He's got to start talking about it now to his crew chief and spotter. I'm sure they're talking, saying, all right, what do we need to do here to make this happen? Can you get any more of the car? Can you move your line around? Sometimes the driver can move his entry around a little bit so he makes the car looser in the center of the corner so he can get a good run off corner exit. I'm sure Teddy Christopher is trying all of them as we're talking about
it. The lap car number 99 of Jamie Tamano is providing a little bit of a pick. White flag waving, and if Christopher's going to make a move, he better do it right here. And now the lap car pushes him higher up the racetrack than he might have wanted to otherwise. Donnie Leah is going to squirt away there down the backstretch with a half a lap to go. Christopher's going to have no time to make a move unless Leah just gets parked. That's not going to happen. He's got plenty of room and takes the checkered flag to win the Martinsville 300 over Ted Christopher. Good racing right down to the end. And yeah, celebrate, guys. You did it just exactly right.
Well, they earned that. They did everything just right. You know, I kind of question their pit rotation of when it was in their strategy, but obviously they knew a lot more about it than I do.
Well, everything planned out just to perfection, or at least it worked out that way, even if they didn't plan it. Donnie Leah stopped 7 laps after the halfway point, took on tires 20 some odd laps sooner than Ted Christopher. Christopher caught him, but ran out of laps to pass him, and this is the way they finished. Donnie Leah, Ted Christopher, L.W. Miller, the first driver from down south, followed by Savali and Brown. 3 out of the top 6 were Southern drivers, even though 9 out of the top 10 started from up north.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a paid advertisement for The Magic Bullet, brought to you by Homeland Housewares.